The Orange Pedalway is the inner circle of the Norwich Pedalway system. Part 1 is the western side of the circle from All Saints Green to Aylsham Road. We'll start on All Saints Green because this is the closest approach to the city centre of the Orange Pedalway. Now Norwich is a little bit like an onion in that it's got layers of development around the old city. And the first layer of development was the Victorian period. And that's basically where the Orange Pedalway runs. So on this route you're going to see a lot of terraced houses. All Saints Green used to be a very busy street, but a few years ago it was closed to traffic and now it's a nice quiet space. And as we head along All Saints Green, we eventually come to the crossroads with Surrey Street. And then we go straight across. At this point, we join with the yellow pedalway as it heads out towards Heigham. And pretty soon we get to the junction with Queen's Road, the inner ring road, and there's a nice little bit of cycling infrastructure here, and as it happens we get straight through the traffic lights without having to wait. So we cross over Queen's Road and into Brazengate. Not really sure what happens ahead now, but some people ambling across the road seem to nearly get hit by a car, and then they wander in front of the bicycle that's ahead of us. And after a short while we leave the yellow pedalway, which stays on Brazengate and heads off to the Heigham Way railway line, the old railway line. We turn right into Grove Road. The video was recorded in mid-July 2021 and this was just after the COVID lockdown, so the traffic levels are quite low. A mini roundabout here, which we go straight across with Southwell Road on the left. Now, as I say, the traffic levels now are very low because this was shortly after the end of the lockdown from the second wave of the COVID epidemic in 2021. Normally there's a fair bit more traffic down here. And we follow Grove Road round to the right. And now as it heads down towards Ipswich Road and Newmarket Road. And now you can really hear the wind blowing. It was quite a windy day, although being July it was actually quite nice and warm. T-shirt weather actually, but yeah, windy. And now we come to a bit of cycle infrastructure that's actually been here for quite a few years, and at the time of filming it's due to be changed, so probably by the time you watch this the works will be underway, if not actually completed. But the arrangement for crossing Ipswich Road will be much like this, only hopefully a higher standard, and there won't be any traffic turning right from St Stephen's Road. And then again across the Newmarket Road onto the other side for a very short section of shared use pavement, and then we turn left into Fellows Plain. Now this area is a private housing estate, and this is actually a private road owned and maintained by a management company. Now as we go down the hill here, be careful as you go through these barriers and keep a lookout for cars crossing to and from the car park. So anyway, we go across the entrance to this car park and climb up the other side. And then we turn right into Philippa Flowerday Plain. And as we ride along here, we're joined by the Blue Pedalway from Wensum. We don't stay with the Blue Pedalway for very long though, because we turn left into Kenneth McKee Plain through some ridiculously narrow bollards. The section through this private housing estate is actually quite nice. It's of course traffic free and it's a nice surface, but you do have to watch out for those narrow bollards. I don't think you'll get the cargo bike or an adapted bike through those. Kenneth McKee Plain takes us down to Union Street, where we cross over and go into the Jenny Lind playground. The Jenny Lind playground is quite a nice bit of shared use pavement. You do have to watch out for dog walkers and kiddies running around, but no, it's a nice bit to ride through. As we leave the Jenny Lind playground, we pick up the pink pedalway as it heads down Essex Street. Now this is a near miss. The SUV in front here stops and immediately starts reversing just as I start to go around it. I guess she was trying to find a way through, and there isn't actually a sign saying no through road, I don't think. Anyway, we come into Essex Street. And Essex Street is a very interesting street because it's very narrow. It's one way and cyclists have a contraflow. Well, not exactly a lane, we're just allowed to cycle in the other direction. And you do have to be careful for oncoming cars. And just to add to the fun, the road starts going downhill quite quickly. So there is a little bit of a blind hill here. But anyway, we get down to the bottom, we get into Unthank Road, go across Unthank Road and into Park Lane. And Park Lane takes us into the heart of the famous Golden Triangle. And then Avenue Road turns off to the left and takes the pink pedalway with it, and we turn right and carry on down Park Lane. Now this would have been a nice downhill section quite quick, so I've had to slow down and nearly stop. But, oh, there you go. And we get into the long section now down to Earlham Road. This is usually quite a quiet section. Not a lot of traffic along here, but you do get a lot of parked cars. Sometimes you have to be a bit careful of cars coming out of driveways as well. So we get down to Earlham Road and we turn right. And at this point we pick up the green pedalway, but we don't stay with it long because we turn left into Alexandra Road. And go down another little bit of a hill, and again watch out for cars down here. It's usually quite quiet, but it's very narrow and it's two-way. The thing about the Victorian streets around Norwich is they weren't built for cars at all, and some of these streets just get full of parked cars, sometimes parked on both pavements with barely enough room to get a car down the middle. It can be a very serious problem, and it's got these pinch points which can get a little bit difficult sometimes if there's traffic trying to get through it. Now, I got this bit slightly wrong. I should have turned right at this crossroads and then taken the next left and gone down the road that's parallel to this one. I don't really see a lot of point in doing that, because at the end of this road we hit Drayton Road. So we have to cross Drayton Road, and Drayton Road is usually a very busy main arterial road, although today it was quite quiet. And the easiest way to do that is to use the pedestrian crossing, and you've got cycle tracks heading one way on each side of the road. Anyway, we take the next left into Adelaid Street, and that's directly opposite the other road where we should have just come straight across Drayton Road, but as I say, I wouldn't recommend that. And apart from lorries blocking the road, Adelaide Street has a missing link past the medical centre. Why nothing has been done about this, I don't know. It's been like it for years. So we have to get through the medical centre car park and come out the other side. And we cross West End Street and pick up Adelaide Street again. It's a nice straight run all the way down to the end into Arm Street, where we turn right. But we don't stay on that for very long. We get onto a little bit of cycle track, which takes us parallel to Old Palace Road. This is quite a nice section. It's shared use, of course, so you have to be a bit careful, but it's off the road, it's through some nice little woodland, so yeah, quite nice. We get to the end and we have to cross Heigham Street. Now, this has been improved in fairly recent times, and we do have a centre island, but Heigham Street is a very busy road and very fast. and so we had to wait quite a long time to get to the centre island. And when we get to the centre island, we've got a very restricted view left. It's very difficult to see what's coming, so we just have to wait. And eventually somebody lets us across. And then we go down this rather narrow opening, but it's good enough. Just be careful for pedestrians. And we head towards Anderson's Meadow. This is the Dolphin Path. We go over the River Wensum. And then we drop down and we cross over the Red Pedalway, National Cycle Route 1, which is the Marriott's Way. It has to be said, this whole route so far has been really quite nice, apart from the occasional errant motorist. But as we come to the end of this cycle track here, we have a nice little example of a desire line, where the road takes an unnecessary kink, probably around some private property, and everybody carries on walking in the direction they want to go, so we get a muddy track. Anyway, we'll stick to the proper path, and we come out onto Drayton Road, and here things change. Drayton Road is usually a very busy, really quite fast road. And this is another one of those roads where providing space for parked cars is more important than providing safe cycling infrastructure. Drayton Road really isn't a very nice road to cycle along. As I say, it's usually very busy and there's nothing much in the way of cycle infrastructure down here, nothing at all coming the other way. Going this way, we're going uphill and it's quite a drag, but we do get a painted cycle lane. It's just white paint, it's not really a lot of good, but at least it's there. And it is quite a slow drag up this hill. You just got to keep going. It's the thing about Norwich, it's got river valleys, and if you go down into a river valley you have to come up the other side, and that's what we're doing now. So yeah, be careful down here. As I say, there's usually quite a lot of traffic and it's not a nice place to cycle. And eventually we come to St Martin's Road, we go straight across. And climbing up quite a bit of a hill here, we get to the Aylsham Road and the end of part one of this journey.